The Olympic Stadium itself, in terms of what it means to the city today, yes, you went down its troubled path and we could go on even longer. But today, we have to understand that it is a symbol internationally for Montreal. It is for Montreal the same thing as the Eiffel Tower is to Paris. And that's very important.
Honestly, it's frankly embarrassing if you look at everything else that's happening in every other major city in North America, sports-wise. We're dead last, but we're not even dead last. We're buried underground. You know, when you think about the fact that Olympic Stadium, this January, it will be 25 years since the roof broke, tore, and here we are 25 years later, and we're still wondering what we need to do. I mean, this is not serious.
When you have all these masses of people coming to visit Montreal, you know, if you're sitting on an A seat in a plane, what you see as a structure to start with, beside the oil refinery that are shutting down, it's the Olympic Stadium. So somehow we would lose this kind of landmark, and in a way we would have lost all the public investment we've put in it for the last 40 years.
I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure that the Big O is the most expensive stadium ever built in the history of mankind. I think that when you start throwing in all of the maintenance costs and the roof repairs over the years and, you know, sort of actualizing it for $23, there's no question that we've spent more than $5 billion on the Big O to date. And what do we get for it?
Fully charged and ready to roll. The Elias Makar Show. CJAD 800.
A little snippet of this week on the Elias Makar Show and our programming that we called Big O Week, putting the Olympic Stadium on trial. You heard from our guests throughout the week. Some in favor of keeping the stadium. David Hertel, Dino Bumbaru from Heritage Montreal, both on the side of its role in our heritage and how it stands in the world. And then we heard from Jeremy Filosa, and you heard from William Yeager, who had a much more critical view on the stadium. As we wrap up this week's look at the Big O, we're going to end off with a couple of things. We're going to speak to someone who was involved in the construction of the stadium way back in the 1970s, and then we will open up our phone lines and go to our jury. And our jury is going to make the decision. Keep it or blow it up. If you want to get preloaded here, 514-790-0800. That's the phone line. We'll get to you as soon as we can on that one. But first things first, let's talk to someone that has some memories of Olympic Stadium. Steve Makar joins us, was involved in the concrete construction of the Big O in 1974 and 1975, and reached out to us when he heard us start talking about the Olympic Stadium about a week ago. Steve, thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome, and good morning, Elias.
So I would love to know your thoughts as someone that participated in the building of Olympic Stadium. How do you view the structure decades later?
You know, it certainly is a monumental building. Never really liked it a lot. I had an interesting beginning and exposure to it, which left me with a rather poor taste in my in my mouth. You know, I really don't care about it. I personally think that a lot of the people talking this week had some pretty good ideas about dismantling it, building one or two more new stadiums, certainly housing, new neighborhoods. All of that's a possibility. I really don't know what Montreal really does with the stadium to have it pay its way. So that's my comment on it.
So Steve, take me back to the building of the stadium. This is before my time, so I don't remember. I don't remember this era. I wasn't alive then. Take me back to the time when it was being built. And what are the stories? What are the things you witnessed? What should we know about the construction of the Big O?
It was a mess. It really was a mess. First of all, I was early in my career. Subsequently, I spent 40 years in the industrial world. I've seen countless construction sites, all different types of facilities, refineries, chemical plants, process plants, pulp and paper, mining, food companies, in a variety of places all over the world. And so I've been exposed to a lot of construction sites. And some of them are, more chaotic than others. This one was one of the worst I've ever seen. And even though it was early in my career, I'll never forget it. I will just never forget it. Walking through the construction site, seeing dozens and dozens of people doing nothing, hiding in dark corners for hour after hour. Equipment doing very little, and just the general, what's the word I'm looking for? Shambles of the place, and disorganization. That was striking, even then. And as I said, I've never seen anything like it before. Now, everyone's in a rush. The Olympics had a deadline date the way most construction sites, they all have deadline dates, but maybe not one quite that prominent. So it had to get done. Once the thing started, it had to get done. But there were many hands out for many things. I was offered myself the possibility of maybe renting buying a concrete pump with a couple of guys, and we'll rent it and pay for itself in 3 days and then make hundreds of thousands of dollars. I never did that. I'm not even sure that the individuals that offered me did it. But there was all of this talk going on. Everyone was just having a bit of a party there. It wasn't very uplifting.
We know the story, Steve, of what happened with the Big O and, concrete slabs falling and things like that. But from the construction era, when it was being built, do you have any stories about concerns about safety then, and how does it influence the way you view the stadium?
Yeah, the reason I actually called up was because one particular thing happened during that construction that I've never forgotten, and I've actually told a number of people about it at the time and throughout the years. And I wish we could find the individual that I was working with at that time. Should I mention his name?
I mean, that I guess that would be up to you. It depends. What's the claim?
I'll just tell the truth. I mean, and this individual did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I just tell the truth. My recollection, this fellow was probably in his. I was in my mid-20s. This individual probably would have been late 30s, somewhere around there. And he was an accomplished businessman. His name was Claude Masson. And he had a great deal to do with the pouring of concrete at the site. The reason he contacted my company, the company I worked for, was a large American company at the time, was because we manufactured heating cables, electrical cables that you apply a current electrical power to, and they heat. And these things are used for a variety of things. Most of the time, they're used to last for many, many years. And that's the way they're engineered and built. They do a variety of things, most of which people realize they keep pipes from freezing, or in a refinery, they will keep pipes warm. That's their normal job. In this particular case, he'd heard of this product, and he came to us and said, hey, look, I have a problem with the concrete at the site. It's too cold to cure properly. It's too cold to gain what should be its ultimate strength to support the structure throughout the years as we would like it to. So we're thinking of maybe we can buy hundreds of thousands of feet, huge quantities of our cables, and bury them in the concrete with their ends sticking out, and then apply power to them and have them sort of warm the concrete up for those few critical days, a couple of weeks, that would allow that concrete to cure more properly. That was it. Now, the thing is, what shocked me, and I'll never forget it, was at the time he said, and he didn't know me very well. And after this project was over, we never saw each other again. I have no idea where he is today or if he is today. But I mean, he said, this is very dangerous. He said, this is not being done right. He said, when this is done, I'll never go back in this site. This is a disaster waiting to happen. He said, it's gonna start to crumble one day. And he said, it's just too bad. I'll never forget that, because here was the guy telling me that this is unsafe, and that he himself, who had a lot more to do it than I ever did, will never go back in there. I myself avoided the structure because of that.
Really? You avoided it? You were involved in the construction, and then you avoided the building?
this guy wasn't kidding, and he wasn't any slouch.
Yeah.
And why I think he was just genuinely concerned.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, I would not have been the only person he said that to. Yeah, I mean, he didn't know me that well.
Steve, I got to wrap things up here, so I'm going to ask you a brief question here, a easy question.
Sure.
Olympic Stadium, decades removed. Should we blow it up, demolish it, move on, or keep it?
Montreal is one of the most beautiful and vibrant cities in the world. It does not need that to continue to make a name for itself. It is creative enough to do much more than that site right now does for the city.
Steve,
that's my opinion.
Steve, thanks for reaching out and thanks for being a part of a Big O week. Perhaps the scariest segment of the week was yours.
Well, I'm sorry about that. I mean, I just tell the truth, and that's the way it was.
Thanks, Steve. Be well.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
That's Steve Makar, who's involved in the concrete construction of the Big O.